Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Leeds United. So in goal, I'm going to go with Dean Henderson. I reckon Dean Henderson is now our number one because he's been in goal a lot recently. And it's the right decision by the club putting Dean Henderson as number one because I did mention he is now reliable enough to become our number one goalkeeper because he has got that experience behind him. He did endure 2 successful loans with Sheffield United and he's had other loan spells before. Before the start of this season, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to Manchester United. But in the vast majority of the games he's been involved in, he's done well. He's made good saves, his distribution's been good, he's made some good aerial claims. Now, he was in goal for our last game against Burnley. And I don't think he was that good. He had shaky moments when he was off his line. Dean Henderson shouldn't have come out when Chris Wood had scored that header within the first 14 seconds of the match. Obviously, Chris Wood's goal got disallowed because he was offside, slightly offside. At right back, I'm going to go with Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka did okay against Burnley. I thought in the first half he was good, but pretty quiet in the second half. Now, defensively, Wan-Bissaka is superb. He just needs to show more attacking intent. Now, there has been games this season where he has showed some attacking intent, but he's got to show it persistently. And Wan-Bissaka can also cross the ball well when he wants to. But when he's poor, he lacks that attacking intent and he gets caught out far too many times. This has been his second full season at Man United. We got him in a deal worth 50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. Now, the two centre-halves, I'm going to go with Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire. Now, Solskjaer has confirmed that Eric Bailly is back and he's been training. Because Bailly has been out with COVID. Solskjaer did say not so long ago that he feels relaxed over Eric Bailly's future. And he did say that was in contract talks with the player. Now, not so long ago, it said that contract talks were on hold for Eric Bailly because it said Eric Bailly wanted assurances over his playing time because he actually has lost his place in the team. Now, earlier on this season, it said that Bailly had apologised to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his Man United teammates for his disrespectful behaviour because it did say that Bailly was furious with Solskjaer because he felt disrespected, and Bailly also come out and said we're only offering him a new contract to simply increase his asking price. Now, he's got like 14 months left on his current contract. We got him from Villarreal back in 2016 for 30 million. So he's been at the club a few years now. Yeah, like I said, he's a very good centre-half, but my element of concern about him is injury-prone. So in that aspect, he is a liability. But I do think that Bailly is a better centre-half than Victor Lindelof. Harry Maguire. He's done well recently, to be fair. He's had quite a lot of good games at Man United, but he's also enjoyed poor games as well. But either way, he certainly wasn't worth the £80 million we got him for. He's the second most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. At left back, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has been our best player this season. You know, he's showed good attacking intent. He's got into very good positions. He's put good crosses into the box. He's provided width. Defensively, he's been superb, and he has created good chances. You know, Luke Shaw is our first choice left back still, despite the arrival of Alex Telles last summer. I reckon Luke Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. He's been at the club now over 6 years. We got him for like £30 million from Southampton back in 2014. Obviously, Shaw played against Burnley. Thought he did quite well. You know, he created some good chances, got forward quite well and got into some very good positions. Now, in the midfield, I'm going to go with Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay. Now, Paul Pogba, we've been getting the best out of him in recent months. Paul Pogba brings creativity to the team. He really does. Recently, we've been playing Paul Pogba in more of an advanced role. Some people think he's more effective in more of an advanced role, but quite a few times before we've played him in a deeper role. Don't forget, earlier on this season, Paul Pogba did have a thigh injury and he was out for a while. First part of this season he had an ankle injury and he was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. So he sustained a few injuries now at Man United. Paul Pogba did play in our last game against Burnley. Thought he put a good performance out. He did get an assist in that game. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him, and this is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. Now I hope Paul Pogba stays potentially past the summer, but he could be leaving. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said earlier on this season that Paul Pogba's future lies at Man United and he hopes he stays and signs a new contract. Pogba's current contract expires next year because earlier on this season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Now it recently said that Paul Pogba was demanding £500,000 a week to sign a new contract at Manchester United. I'm very sceptical we'll be able to meet his demands, but if we did meet his demands, it'd take his overall earnings close to £800,000 a week, because at the moment on his current contract he's on £290,000 a week. Paul Pogba recently insisted that he's happy at Man United. He recently criticised Jose Mourinho in an exclusive interview with Sky. He says Jose Mourinho went against the players and he said Solskjaer is different. So reflecting on that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is 100% Paul Pogba is 100% Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. Got my words muddled up a bit there. Jose Mourinho hit back at Paul Pogba's comments. He said he doesn't care less what he had to say. Not so long ago, Mourinho got sacked from Tottenham. Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. He's been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. PSG have been in for him. Juventus have been in for him. I said there's a very good chance he'll go back to Juventus because he did endure 4 good years with them. And swap deals have been high on the agenda. Italian reports said the other week that there could be a swap deal involving Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Pogba. And it also said Juventus were willing to offer us Paulo Dybala in a swap deal for Paul Pogba. And Barcelona have also been in for him as well. Mino Raiola has obviously been desperate to get his client out of the football club. He was doing a lot of talking earlier on this season. He actually criticised Sir Alex Ferguson for forcing Pogba out of the club when he was younger. I presume all Man United fans disagreed with him criticising Ferguson. And he also said that he doesn't give a fuck if he doesn't take another player to Man United as long as his clients are happy. He did say though earlier on this season that he's got no intentions of destabilising his client's season. And he made an admission saying that he's working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer to avoid offence. Because Mini Oriol doesn't have a good relationship with the club and he's being criticised a lot. And he made an announcement back in December last year regarding Paul Pogba, and Solskjaer was furious with Mini Oriola's announcement. So yeah. Scott McTominay, he obviously scored twice when we played Leeds at Old Trafford earlier on this season. You know, he made the difference. We won 6-2. It's probably the best game McTominay's endured this season. McTominay is a decent player, but he's not yet on that level where we want him to be at. But he's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. The question is, can McTominay emulate to that level? Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. Now, ahead of Pogba and McTominay, I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes plays every game, doesn't he? More or less. I think we've overplayed Bruno Fernandes, and I did say at one point he does need a rest. But earlier on this season, Fernandes denied that he needed a rest because obviously he wants to help the club win trophies. Fernandes is our best player, and he's the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Now, it recently said that Bruno Fernandes will sign a new £200,000 a week contract and stay at Manchester United, but only if Paul Pogba does. It said earlier on this season that Fernandes was refusing to sign a new contract because he wanted assurances over our transfer plans. Now, Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option to extend for a further 12 months. He's been at the club now over a year. Don't forget, Fernandes did say on his 12-month anniversary that he's planning on spending many years at Man United. We initially paid £47 million for him, but the overall cost with add-ons is just over £67 million. And he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. So yeah, him in the number 10. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood has been superb since he broke into our first team squad. Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. You know, he's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been at the club a long time now. And earlier on this season, he signed a new 4-year contract with Man United. I said he deserved a new contract, reflecting on his good performances. He's still young, he's got a lot of development in him, and I can assure Mason Greenwood has a long-term future at the club. Now, he did play in our last game against Burnley. He did get a brace. I think he started centrally against Burnley. But whether he plays on the right or whether he plays centrally, either way, you get the best out of him. Ollie's been defending Greenwood a lot this season. On the left-hand side, I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford has recently had a foot problem. I don't think he's been training though. But I think he should be okay to play in this game against Leeds. Marcus Rashford obviously played in our last game against Burnley. Put a good performance out. But I think he overran some openings. He did get an assist in the game against Burnley. Rashford has become injury prone at Manchester United because he's sustained quite a few injuries now. I think we need to keep Marcus Rashford on the left because that's where he's more effective. A couple of times before we've played him on the right wing and quite a few times before we've played him centrally. But when Rashford plays well, he gets good runs in behind, he creates chances and he can score good goals. Being part of the club for a while, he's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016, and since then he has become an integral part of our team. Up top, I'm going to go with Edison Cavani. Edison Cavani didn't start in our last game against Burnley, but he did come off the bench and he scored our third goal. Edison Cavani has made a fantastic impact since he's come in. In a lot of his games at Man United, his hold-up play's been good, his movement in and out of the box has been good, he's created chances and he's scored good goals. He scored a very, very good goal against Tottenham not so long ago. It was a very, very good diving header. He also had a disallowed goal in that game. And he also played a part in Fred's goal in that game against Tottenham. But there's been some games where he hasn't got enough service and he's looked isolated. A lot of Manchester United fans want Edison Cavani to stay at Man United for next season, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants him to stay for next season, but I'm very, very sceptical that he's going to stay for next season because Edison Cavani has put a transfer request in. He recently had a meeting with Manchester United and he's asked to leave Manchester United to join Boca Juniors. Now, Footballer Insider said earlier on this season that Cavani's willing to take a pay cut to join Boca Juniors. He's already got a verbal agreement with them, and Boca Juniors are willing to offer him a 3-year contract. Now, earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say that Cavani was closer to Boca Juniors than staying at Man United, and prior to that, Edison Cavani's father came out and said that Cavani's unhappy, he doesn't feel comfortable in England and he wants to leave. Now, it recently said that we'd been handed a boost in our attempt to keep hold of Edison Cavani because the Uruguay manager advised Edison Cavani to stay in Europe. And we held talks with Edison Cavani over his future at the club earlier on this season. Solskjaer said prior to the Tottenham game he was unsure over Cavani's future. His current contract expires at the end of the season as an option to trigger his contract for a further year. Got him on a free transfer last summer, didn't we? He's got a good pedigree as a player though. He did very well at PSG and he was with them for a long time. So anyway, that's how I think Manchester United could line up against Leeds on Sunday. The only players we've got out is Anthony Martial. I think he's got a knee injury. It's very likely he's going to be out for the remainder of the season. Solskjaer confirmed that not so long ago. He sustained the injury whilst he was on international duty with France, and Phil Jones is still injured, but he doesn't get in R11 anyway. So I think they're the only two injuries we've got now because I think Rashford's okay and obviously now Eric Bailly is back. Really, really looking forward to this game against Leeds. It's the War of the Roses. Now, we've won our last 3 meetings against Leeds. We're beating them 6-2 at Old Trafford earlier on this season. One of the best games we've enjoyed this season. The game earlier on in the season at Old Trafford was the first time we'd played Leeds in the Premier League for like 16 years. We're beating them 4-0 in pre-season. in the summer of 2019. That was in Australia, and we're beating them 3-0 at Ellen Road in the League Cup back in 2011. The last time Leeds beat us was the FA Cup third round back in January 2010 when Jermaine Beckford had scored. That game ended 1-0. The last time we played Leeds at Ellen Road in the Premier League was back in 2004. But Leeds have enjoyed a good season to their standards. This has been Leeds United's first season in the Premier League since 2004, because don't forget Leeds got relegated in 2004 and they was out of the top flight for 16 years. They did win the Championship last season. That was their first trophy in 28 years. You know, their current manager is Marcelo Bielsa. Good manager is Marcelo Bielsa, to be fair. His current contract expires with Leeds in the summer. I don't think he's signing a new contract at Leeds. He got a pretty good pedigree behind him as Marcelo Bielsa. Used to manage in Argentina. Worked with Pep Guardiola and that, didn't he? A long time ago. Marcelo Bielsa taught Guardiola, and obviously Guardiola's following Marcelo Bielsa's philosophy at Man City. You know, Leeds drew their last game with Liverpool 1-1, so from a Leeds perspective, they'd have been very, very delighted with that result. They beat Man City not so long ago, 2-1. You know, Leeds have got some good players, like I mentioned on the preview, that could cause us problems on Sunday. Obviously, they've got Patrick Bamford. He's a very, very good player. He's probably one of Leeds United's best players. Leeds got him from Middlesbrough. He'll be in contention to play on Sunday. They've also got Diego Llorente. They got him last year. He was actually out with injury earlier on this season. They've got Rodrigo. They got him from Valencia last year for like £27 million. He's actually injured, I think. Rodrigo hasn't done as well as many, you know, Leeds fans expected, because he was really good at Valencia. They've got Rafinha. He's actually out with injury. Didn't play against Liverpool. He's made an impact at Leeds as Rafinha. I think Leeds got him from Rennes last year. Calvin Phillips, he's also very, very good for Leeds. He's a midfielder. Liam Cooper, he's suspended for this game because he got sent off in Leeds' 2-1 win against Man City. I think there's quite a lot of Leeds fans that don't really rate Liam Cooper. They've also got Jack Harrison, but Jack Harrison needs to improve on his crossing. They've got Pablo Hernandez. He's good, but he hasn't been getting in Leeds' team a lot recently. They've also got that Tyler Roberts. Leeds have got Adam Forshaw. He doesn't hardly get in Leeds' team, and plus he's out with injury. Stuart Dallas, he's also very, very good for them. Ayling and Alioski are quite good. You know, they play quite well together. Robin Koch, they got him last year. Their current goalkeeper is Mejele, if I've pronounced that correctly. You know, we've done business with Leeds before. Years ago, we got Rio Ferdinand off them. We also got Eric Cantona off them. And don't forget, Alan Smith left Leeds to come to Manchester United ages ago. There's been some very, very good games between Manchester United and Leeds over the years. I can assure will obviously finish in the top 4 this season. We'll probably finish second place. Obviously, we know we're not going to win the league with too far behind Man City. Man City are 11 points in front of us. They recently beat Aston Villa 2-1. But Solskjaer did say not so long ago that we will never ever give up on the Premier League title. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. Our next game after Leeds is Roma in the Europa League semi-final. And we are aware of how much of a tough game that's going to be. Solskjaer spoke about Man United facing Roma in the Europa League semi-final not so long ago, and he said Edin Dzeko will pose the biggest threat to Manchester United. And I presume that Henrik Mkhitaryan and Chris Smalling will be reuniting with Man United. I think Smalling's actually been injured. But yeah, it's 5 semi-finals in total under Solskjaer. The Europa League is our only chance of winning any silverware this season. Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager, because we haven't won a trophy since 2017. So if we fail to win the Europa League this season, that'll be exactly 4 years without a trophy. But if we fail to win the Europa League, we do know that Solskjaer's not going to be sacked. That's already been made clear. So I can assure Solskjaer will be Man United manager in the summer transfer window, and he'll be Man United manager next season. I've already said he does deserve at least another season at the club because progress has been made. But I've already assured that Solskjaer is not the long-term manager for Man United, but I hope I'm proven wrong. You know, there has been a lot of Manchester United fans that have criticised Solskjaer and they've demanded him out of the club. Obviously, they've got main explanations why they was demanding him out of the club. But I presume there's still a lot of United fans that are only going to Solskjaer in and they believe that he needs more time at the club. He is our best manager since Ferguson, and he's our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and, Manchester United in general. The summer transfer window will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer did say earlier on this season that Man United may not do business as usual due to the pandemic, but he said he's interested in bringing in players that will be a perfect fit for the club. But in the summer transfer window, I'm expecting Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings, and I've identified the areas where we need to strengthen up already. Earlier on this season, though, it said that Man United will spend big in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer did mention that he wants to keep transfer dealings quiet. And Solskjaer should get the backing he deserves. Because like I've already said, we've got John Murtough. He's our director of football. And obviously we've got Darren Fletcher. He's our technical director. And obviously Woodward believes that Solskjaer is the right man to lead the club forward. He did release a statement earlier on this season saying that the progress by Solskjaer and the players this season is clear. So in that aspect, Woodward is backing him. Even when we was enduring them really, really bad periods, Woodward assured that Solskjaer's job was safe. You already know the news on Ed Woodward, don't you? It was announced a few days ago that Ed Woodward resigned as Manchester United vice chairman. He said he'll stand down at the end of 2021, but recent reports have said that he's expected to leave in the summer rather than the end of the year. I presume all United fans are happy that this has been confirmed, because we've been very critical of Ed Woodward for a long time. I've already given you the reasons why. Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. And it recently said there's 5 candidates that we are looking at that could replace Woodward, and it actually says that Edwin van der Sar is the favourite to replace Ed Woodward. If we got Edwin van der Sar in, it would be the right decision by Manchester United, because one, he knows the club through thick and thin because he endured 6 years at Man United, did Van der Sar. And two, he's got that experience because he's currently the chairman at Ajax, and I think he's done very, very well at Ajax. You know the news already on the Glazers. I updated you on that earlier on today. The Glazers are ready to sell Manchester United after the European Super League failure. It says the Glazers have set the price to sell the club. They want a fee in the region of £4 billion. Solskjaer recently defended the Glazers. He says that he told the protesters that Joe Glazer loves the club. And recently, Man United fans were protesting against the Glazers at Carrington, and it said some of our fans blocked entrances into the Carrington training ground. And obviously there was banners saying MUFC 20, 51% and Glazers out. The Glazers recently said sorry. Joe Glazer released a statement and apologised to Man United fans over the European Super League. The Glazers have been at Man United since 2005. I hate the way the club has been run. I really, really do. So we need new owners and we need to get a new chairman in. So anyway guys, the next video I'll be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching guys.